good evening to the folks on Zoom as well. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. My name is Mike Riley. My call sign is KN4OAK. And I'm lucky enough to have been selected to be the president of the North Fulton Amateur Radio League. And I'm very proud to be one. So thank you very much for giving that opportunity to me. And tonight we're going to do some interesting things. We're going to do a little business meeting information sharing first, and then we are going to let Eric Bagby tell us all about the trunk radio systems at Fulton County Emergency Services. So that should be very interesting. So let's go ahead and change the slide, Chuck. Thank you. So, 3 basic things. At the end of the meeting, we'll have a little program wrap-up where we'll do our 50-50 and other raffles. And we'll go from there. So, next slide, please. All right, a little housekeeping before we do anything, right? Emergency exits. Does everybody know what an emergency exit is?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
What it is or where it is?
It's in case you have to leave right now. There's a door back there. You can go out through a door on that side of the closet. That'll take you right out here, and you go out the front door there, okay? Restrooms, if you don't know where they are, they're in the far back right-hand corner. There's a Coke machine back there. Let's see what else we got. Zoom audience, if you want to leave us a note, make a comment, or anything else, just put something in the chat. And our Zoom operator, Dave Biscotti, KO4 USA, will just gladly take your note and make sure we see it. And then there's some cookies over there that you all have to have before we leave, because I can't bring them home. All right, next slide, please. Membership update. We have membership in this club, believe it or not. We have 308 members. Is that right, Wes?
That's right.
And we have 6 new members so far this month, so that's very good. Next slide. Some new hams, new license upgrades. That's for this month only, so congratulations to any of you folks who might be listed. And I see 1 or 2 of you here. Dub is here. Who else is here? There you go. Scott is here. Hello, Scott.
Stand up.
Dave, stand up. Stand up. Yeah, Tom. Scott. So, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Take your next test at your convenience. We do it once a month, every Saturday, every second Saturday, correct, Ian?
Correct.
Very good. All right. Steve Randall, come on up here.
Well, I'm sort of comfortable around a microphone. All right, guys. Gosh, it's great to see everybody here. Nice crowd for the club meeting this evening. And, you know, we've been trying to increase the CW activity in this club and continually getting new people getting started on there. One thing I'm proud to say is we haven't had that many of the W4QO Code 10 awards that we've given out, but all of them that we have given out, all those people are still on the air. Nobody's dropped out. Everybody that's dropped out has done it before they got on the air. So that's the key. If you want to do CW, the fun is getting on the air. And so we have 2 new ones for tonight. We've got a couple of guys that have done really well in different situations, but they both learned CW and they're on the air, and probably will continue to be on the air, and we're very proud of them. And We have two of the guys here, Jay. You want to come up here? Well, Jay, here's your W4 QO Code 10 award. This is what we give people after they've made 10 QSOs minimum. He's made many more than that. So we've had other things going on. So don't think just because it says 10 that that's all they've done. These guys have done many, many, many more than that. And this is just the first opportunity we've had to give the awards out at the club meeting. Very, very proud of you, Jay. Steve is one of our newest operators, one of the newest guys in the CW chat. Here's your award, Steve. And I keep telling everybody, you know, when it gets into the weekly test, I'm kind of the hard guy to beat, but this is the guy that's going to beat me right here. and I've never seen anybody learn it so quickly and jump in there with little radio and little antennas and do as well as he's done. So, congratulations. Look at these guys on the air. You see them on the air working, and because they're going to be there. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, before we go too much further, we get a little bit of sad news we're going to deal with tonight. Just want to let you all know that we'd like to keep Daryl Young in our thoughts and prayers this evening. Daryl's mother just passed away a little while ago, so just if you get a chance, just remember that. Next time you see Daryl, pass along your condolences. So, all right. We got the Georgia QSO part of it. I think John, N4TOL, is going to come over here and talk to us about it very quickly.
Very good. I like that. Okay, as you know or may not know, North Fulton Club is one of the prominent players in the Georgia QSO party. And the reason that we do this is one of the missions of our club is to get people on the air, as Steve just alluded to. Raising you folks, all the guys that upgraded to General and Extra, I presume that's to get on HF, which is what this contest is. Get out there and use your stations. You know, when you listen on the radio, you hear these people, working people, and you go, gosh, wouldn't it be great if everybody wanted to work me? Well, if you're a Georgia station, they're going to want to work you. It's not that hard. Just go out there and call. You can do it at your own pace. You don't have to score 1 million points. If you just score 50 points, what we want to see is quantity count of North Fulton members participating. Scores are fun, and as you start doing it, you'll have fun watching your score grow during the contest. But really, it's just to get on the air. Use your license, and you know, if you've just upgraded, even if you're a technician, this weekend, if you know CW, like these two gentlemen, you can get on 10 meters and work hundreds of DX entities on CW. So it's not that hard to do. And that's pretty much it. I will be, Steve informed me that the topic of next meeting will be focused on the Georgia QSO party. We'll go into more details as to how it works and the history and how the club is done. So look forward to seeing you all there.
Well, thank you, John. And next month, there's a special event to coincide with John's presentation. We'll bring all the gavels that we've won, and you'll be amazed. We're not going to have anybody hitting anybody. All right. YISA. Who knows what YISA is? I only see 2 hands. 3, 4. Okay. Wes, do you want to tell us what YISA means? Wait a second. Wait a second, Wes.
Can I just tell a story first?
It's a must.
Anyway, YISA stands for Youth Education, Scholarships and Activities, and every year we hold a ham jam event, and the monies that we take in from that go for youth education scholarships and activities. And one of the things we're doing this year, we've been invited to go to the Computer Museum of America and set up a ham station. And we're going to have a ham camp for middle schoolers or whoever wants to, really, youth, at the first week of June. So that's some of the stuff's going on, and we're funding it with monies from ESA. Really, do you understand now that, how many people know about ESA now? Very good. Okay. The Ham Jam event will be the second Saturday in November this year, and we're already planning for it, and it'll be right here. And last year worked very well to have it in this building, so it's a great facility for lots of things, including Ham Jam. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Wes. And just one other quick side comment. The club gives quite a bit of funding to the NFARL for scholarships. Is that correct, Wes? Does that all come out of your bank account?
You know, well, the past year we've funded about $10,000 worth of things through the ESA monies, and typically we give $4,000 for 2 scholarships. In fact, one of the daughters of one of the people here, raise your hand.
I can talk. Steve, W346UV. Yes, my daughter got the scholarship 4 out of 5 years from North Bolton, and the last one I think she got from Gwinnett and everything. But so definitely, if you have children and grandchildren and stuff, and they're going into college and they're going to do the things to do that, look into the scholarship program because it's really great. Oh, back to Wes. Okay.
Yeah, and on that point, there's about $1 million worth of scholarships given to people that have ham radio licenses in 1 year. So again, top ones are $25,000, and we've had 2 people in our club receive those awards too. Audrey and I forget the other one, but Ruth, yeah.
What about Strata?
What about what?
Strata.
Oh, yeah, we have a new member in our club, Shravika, and she wants to go to MIT, and she's applied for scholarships as well. And she's just a brilliant young lady, but we found out a couple weeks ago that she was on the, absolutely, you're going to MIT, and don't bother putting your information into any other college, but we're glad to have you. So she's been a real asset to our club already.
So you can see, youth is a very important part of what we do in this club, and that's why we're going to put a little bit of focus on it during this coming year. So as Wes said, we have the Computer Museum of America. Everybody know where that is?
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody been there?
Yep.
Next to floor in the court.
That's right. Have you, go inside the place, you'll be amazed. It is very, very interesting. What we're working to do is to get them connected with ham radio. We've got a couple of things going on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. You're on.
Can the Zoom folks hear me? Okay, very good. We have a couple of things that we're trying to do with the Computer Museum of America. We are trying to set up a ham station at the site. So we're going to be looking at people to volunteer to help us do that, and then possibly help us get the site up and running. It's not going to be anything fancy, but we'll figure out where it is. Right now, we're just kind of toying around with what kind of equipment it should be and where it's going to be in the building. The other thing that we've got, as Wes said, is we have a camp that we're working to develop with them. And that'll happen in mid-June. And we talked about this at Hungry Hams a couple of weeks ago, where we talked about doing some STEM activities for the Webb Bridge Middle School. this is all going to connect together because these activities that we develop for the STEM program support and the computer museum camp support are going to help us go to other schools. So we have a couple of other schools that we're already connected through the ARIS program. And that is due to Martha Muir, W4MSA. Does everybody know Martha? That's good. Hello, Martha. Is she on? Okay. We have a couple other things that she's enabled us to connect to, and one of them is 3 ARIS contacts that are coming up. So we have the Webbridge Middle School, which is going to be a Telebridge contact. That's going to happen at the end of May. Now, part of that, at the end of March, we're going to do an introduction to ham radio, and that's where the STEM class programs get connected. So we're looking for probably 14 to 15 volunteers to help us out with that. And we're working out the details with the school, and once we get that worked out over the next several weeks, we'll start communicating that to folks and we'll start looking for those volunteers. But if you were at Hungry Hams and you remembered what we talked about, the program options, and we developed a list and we sent that out to the folks that were there. If you've done anything with that by chance, we'd be happy to see what you've done. If you haven't done anything with that by chance, you still got plenty of time. So give us a call, send us an email. We need your help. It all helps, everything helps the club. So that STEM Days is coming up. That is going to be towards the end of March. We'll get the actual date for that off the Fulton County School calendar and go from there. We'll communicate that out of Groups.io, so just keep your eyes open for that. You'll hear about it at Hungry Hams as well. We'll probably put out a broadcast email or two. A couple of ARIS things that are coming up. We have the Webbridge Middle School in May, as we just spoke about. But then we have 2 others. We have Augusta Prep, which Martha and, geez, I've forgotten the gal's name. Martha, let Dave know. And they are going to be a live contact. Daryl's working with them. They've already got the equipment laid out from an equipment plan standpoint, so that's going to be pretty interesting. So when we get more details on that, as far as the date, we'll let you know and see what goes on there. And then we have another elementary school over in the city of Marietta, and that's Burris Elementary. And they're going to get an ARIS contact as well. We're working with them. So the STEM class training programs that we're developing, they can be used in support of any of these. On top of that, we have another Cobb County school that is looking to do an ARIS contact in the spring of 2024, and they've approached us and asked us to be their sponsor, or at least apply to be their sponsor. So we're in the process of doing that as well. So we've got a lot of STEM and ARIS related activity coming up. And we'd like to look at that as a platform to help us increase the amount of youth activity we've got going on at the club. So what we're looking to get out of these programs is recruitment from the schools for adults and kids. So spread the word.
Mike, the woman's name is Rachel Jones.
Rachel Jones. Thank you, Martha. Yes, Wes.
What does that ARISS stand for anyway?
The question Wes is asking is, what does ARISS stand for? And that's the Amateur Radio and Space Program. That's what that stands for.
And the contacts are with who?
Contacts are with the astronauts that are on the International Space Station, whoever's up there at the time of the contact. And ARISS works with the AMSAT to make that all happen.
Amateur radio on the International Space Station.
Amateur radio on the International Space Station. That's right. Okay. Next slide, please, Chuck. So there's another group we got in the club, and that's the Aries group. And we got a couple of those Aries guys here tonight.
Georgia.
One of them is Bill Largent. Come on up, Bill. The other one's Scott. How you doing, Scott? Who knows what the Aries team does?
As little as possible.
1, 2, oh, and Tammy's here, I forgot. Sorry, Tammy.
My name is Bill Largent, KN4DLD. I'm the most recent EC, which stands for Emergency Coordinator for our Aries group. Aries really focuses on emergency communication. The idea is we go ahead and practice and train and learn some of the skills that are associated with it. And then hopefully, we're never called upon, but if we do, we already have the skills to go out and share the information and work with some of the emergency agencies in the area. Now, we have a lot of fun because we go back through and build up our skills and we want to practice them. So we turn that into community services. We have the event coming up with the Publix Marathon. Atlanta Radio Club is actually putting that together. So we're going to handle all the communications between the vans that go around and pick up runners. Tammy's here also, so we have another, did he call you out as an Aries member? I just saw Tammy's name. It's a great event, it's very well organized, and you get to spend about a day playing radio. And the idea being is that ours is a hobby, but we actually have a hobby that turns in as a purpose. So we work on portable rigs, being able to deploy quickly, and being able to sustain ourselves out in the field. Publix Marathon is coming up this weekend. If you're interested, I think there's still some spots available. The Atlanta Radio Club is hosting that. They do an amazing job for putting that program together. The other one is the Georgia Death Race coming up on March 25th. I think that is a 75-mile, 24-hour race on the Appalachian Trail. And each one of the 8 stations along the trail has got a ham operator that's there with it. That's actually sponsored by the club, I think, up in Dahlonega. They do such an amazing job tracking all the racers from one aid station to the other that the National Forest Service has come back and told the race promoters, if you ever lose the support of ham radio, you can no longer have your event in the National Forests. And then also coming up with state parks in the air on April 1st and 12th. Technically not an Aries event. We're taking advantage of it. Jim, W4IU, is actually pulling that together for the Aries group. We've got a spot set up at Sweetwater Creek out west of town. But that plays into what we do because we're trying to stay portable. We're trying to put up antennas in remote locations, operate off of backup or emergency power supplies. So if you're interested in Aries, please let us know. We'd be happy to get you involved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Bill. And the portable operations aspect is really something that we probably want to put a little more emphasis on. So we're going to try to do that throughout some of the youth activities as well. And we'll use whatever the Aries team does to operate as a model. So very good.